You may want to create your own set of actions or create a workflow action from a set of existing actions. I'm going to show you how to do that, and this can be really useful for batch processing groups of images later on. An action is simply a recording of the steps you take when you manipulate or change an image. Photoshop will record most of the things you do, including playing already existing actions, and list them as a series of steps inside the action. Let's start out by creating a new set of actions. To do that, go down to the buttons at the bottom of the Actions panel. The Folder button allows you to create a new set or folder of actions. Click on the Folder button, and in the dialog box, name the folder set whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Workflow Actions. I know that I usually run several of the same actions on most of my images, so I'm going to create a new action that will record each of those actions and store them together. That way I don't have to play each one of them individually. Remember that the action will be created in whatever set you have currently selected. To create a new action, click on the New Action button at the bottom of the Actions panel. Photoshop opens a dialog box where you can name the new action, which, being the creative guy I am, I'll call Workflow 1. You can also change which set the action will be placed into by choosing a different set here. I'm going to leave it in Workflow Actions. You can also assign a function key that would cause the action to run by choosing an option here. And you can give it a color in case you're using the button mode in the Actions panel. Once a new action is set up and ready to go, press Record. Photoshop will now record almost any changes made, including playing an existing action. Notice the recording icon at the bottom of the Actions panel. As long as it's in this state, Photoshop is recording whatever you do. I'm going to open up the Uber Adjustment set and select the action Haze Away High and play it by pressing the play button at the bottom of the Actions panel. It takes a moment to run, and now you can see the action is placed inside my new Workflow 1 action. Now I'm going to select Color Boost and play that action. And I'm going to follow that up by a contrast boost. I usually like to darken the corners of my images, so I'll open Uber Edges and run the Vignette Darken Corners action. Okay, I think that's all I'm looking for right now, so I'll return to the buttons at the bottom of the Actions panel and press the Stop button. If you forget to do this, you'll end up with a very interesting action because Photoshop will continue to record whatever you do. As you can see, Workflow 1 now has inside of it the 4 actions I chose, and anytime I run it, it will perform those 4 actions. If you decide you don't want to run one of the steps inside the action, you can turn the step off by clicking the check mark to the left. In this case, I'm going to turn off the last action where I darken the edges. You can also delete part of an action or an action step by highlighting the step and going to the Actions panel menu and choosing Delete. The last step is to save the new set of actions by clicking on the action set title and selecting Save Actions from the Actions panel menu. I'm going to save the actions inside my Uber Master set of actions. Any actions I create in this set of actions will now be available for use in any of the Photoshop batch processing options available to me. And that can save me a lot of time.